butnu production.
Hello, it's day 3 and we were going to go to marathons today, but it turns out there's no pavements and we'd have to walk down a motorway.
We've seen how they drive. Round, they'll drive on it.
I'm sure they'd even try to drive it.
If they could.
If they could. But yeah, so instead, it's a bit of a compromise, but it's a pretty cool one. We're going to Piraeus, which is the sort of port of Athens. It was the ancient port as well. It's where the Battle of Salamis happened. It's pretty exciting.
Someone was calling us from across the platform and it looked as though our train was ready to depart.
So after we were so rudely interrupted, turns out the guy was telling us it was our train. We got on the train and someone said, "Where are you going?" And we said Piraeus, and he said, "No, next train." So we got off and on, and we're waiting for the train again. It's pretty nice. Yeah. It was cool though, because that train was made in Derby. Yeah. All well then.
Of course, we made full use of our time by checking out the railside artwork and doing some quality loitering at the same time. Of course, this was a last-minute change of plans, so we had no idea what to expect at the end of the train journey. Were we going to be able to go over to Salamis? We literally had no idea. Upon arriving in Piraeus, we were greeted by a bustling hive of activity, which isn't surprising considering it is the third largest passenger port in the world.
Hey, we're in Piraeus. First time we've seen the sea.
It's hot.
It is so hot. It's just actually opened up into blips of heat. And we're just trying to find tickets to see if we can go over to the island on the ferry. But yeah, I'll let you know how it goes.
With neither of us being experienced sailors, we bravely climbed aboard the ferry.
Like €2, so it's a bargain. It takes like 20 minutes. Absolutely beautiful. I feel a bit seasick, but I'm so tired.
This stretch of water was the site of the infamous Battle of Salamis, where 370 Greek ships defeated an invading force of 1,200 Persian ships. The Greek ships withdrew into a narrow channel, and the Persians all followed them in and crashed into each other. Classic.
It's a bit windy here, but this is Salamis. What do they call it now? Salamina. Yeah, just a guy working on his car, and we walked past him. He's like, "Oh." Just had a chat, and in the nicest way, he told us where to go.
Just take the left and follow the water around, and there might be somewhere up. I don't follow football, mate.
Yeah, so yeah, we just walk around, get something to eat, and then we get the ferry back. But
Apparently everyone's closed until 5 anyway. But,
yeah,
you know, make an effort.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Hi,
Addy or
Andy or
yes, well, yeah.
We walked around the bay to the side of the island that has shops for a quick bite to eat before getting the ferry back. The day's travelling had taken its toll on us and we were starting to feel pretty tired, but the fresh sea air kept us going until we were back in Athens. There may not have been much to do on Salamis, but we certainly felt like we gained a lot from going there. Realising it was still relatively early in the day, we decided to explore a bit before heading back to the hotel for the night.
Well, we left Piraeus after we came back from Salamis. The ferry was pretty exciting, so we didn't really want to talk to the camera and stuff. We're just enjoying the journey. And so we just come to this park next to the Parliament, and
Next to Attica.
they've got like a little menagerie here. It's got everything you see at Trago Mills. Yeah, you're lovely little geese, aren't you?
Rabbits, goats, geese.
Rabbits, goats, geese, peacocks, pigeons. I only got up to have a poo.
Another bizarre thing is a lot of them are actually native to the UK.
Yeah.
So it's more like exotic for people in Greece to come here and see. Ooh, rabbit, never seen one of those before. But
Well, rabbits are native here as well. That stinks, mate.
they're really nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, you know, and goats are.
Ducks.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah. But, yeah. And we're just going to chill here for a bit, because we got to get up early tomorrow to go to Delphi, yeah.
Yeah, probably going to get a
So-
mobile phone SIM card
So
tomorrow.
get an early night. Yeah, Ben wants to get a SIM card.
Greek number.
Get his own Greek number.
I'll keep that
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Save it on my phone.
Yeah. Ben Greek.
Yeah.
Non-Greek Ben.
Thank you very much. Well, this is just classic. A giant enclosure of budgies.
Well, we just woke up. It's like 6. And we got to get a train and then a coach to Delphi. Quite exciting. A bit sad to be leaving Athens, but very excited to move on and see somewhere different now, I think.
Πάντες πρώτης θέσης που επιθυμούν να κάνουν χρήση της προσφοράς μπορούν να περάσουν με τα εισιτήριά τους από το χώρο του μπαρ. Ευχαριστώ.
First off, we had to get a train to a town called Lividia, and after a few hours of feeding cake to gypsies, we then had to continue our increasingly scenic journey to Delphi by coach. Of course, Delphi was the centre of the ancient Greek religious world, and you can really tell why as you start to approach. Everything just becomes so mind-blowingly stunning. It really knocks you for 6.
New Quicksilver hat. I bought.
Hello, Mum.
She's not your mum.
No, but if my mum watches this,
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
wouldn't want her to think I didn't say hello.
Okay.
Hello, Ben's mum. Every time I hit record, suddenly trees. Right, so after a day's travelling and a bit of a detour, we've finally arrived at Delphi. And I have to say, wow, the view,
Breathtaking.
it's a bit of a cliche, but you should see the view from our hotel window. It's just, yeah, it literally is breathtaking. In fact, it's maybe even more breathtaking than the sights we've seen in Athens. And yeah, I mean, the bus journey was incredibly picturesque as well, just going through like mountains and stuff. And yeah, it's super hot here.
I doubt even a guy that had his phone on behind us, like playing some sort of drum and bass, like loudly, would have ruined it. It was that beautiful, you know, there was very little that could have ruined that.
Yeah, except maybe your eyes falling out. That would have been a shame. But that didn't happen, so we got away like pretty lightly. Yeah.
Also, sort of bus crash, the mountains are quite high.
We all know how strict the fire regulations are in the UK, but in Greece we've noticed quite a different attitude towards it. For example, this one here tells us that if the fire has not expanded
please try to put it out yourself. The one we saw in Athens actually said, if there is a fire, you'll be notified either by someone knocking on your door, your telephone ringing, or you'll hear fire engines outside. It's so laid back. So tomorrow morning we're going to go check out the ancient Delphi, the oracle and everything, and that site. It's just down the road. It's very hilly here. I don't think I'll ever complain about the hills in Wickham again. They just seem like molehills by comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas these are mountains.
I'm walking up with them with a 20-kilogram bag on your back.
Yeah, and a suitcase.
Yeah, it's just not.
It's a challenge, but it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get a cup of tea, going to check out the village a bit, get some dinner in a restaurant we were recommended by the very friendly Helen, who the hotel clerk.
She's called, in Greek, she's called Greece. Exino. You go to Athens, it's not the same.
So having settled into the hotel and gotten to know Helen a bit better, we decided to explore the town and see what it had to offer. It was already quite late in the day, but luckily the modern city of Delphi is absolutely tiny. But of course, with views like these, you don't really need anything else to pass the time.
This is the view from our restaurant table. One thing that every Greek town has got lots of, it's stray feline and canine mammals. Loads of them, everywhere. Well, you saw the dog drinking from the fountain earlier. Another stray cat, he knows that we're eating. He's just going to barge straight in.
And after we finished dinner, we decided to get away from the cats by going to the lovely Taverna Bacchus, which of course is named after the god of wine. And knowing that Bacchus was on our side, we decided to try out a carafe or two and take in some more of the lovely view.
Hello, so it's day 5, and we just got up bright and early to come and visit the Delphi Museum and the ruins and stuff before we have to check out and go to Patras. So walk down there. I found out a way of wearing 2 pairs of glasses so I can see and I don't get blinded by the light, which is nice. And Ben's just walked back into town because he didn't want to pay an extra €1 for water. So I'm just sitting there with a slush puppy. It's great. Yeah. I'm well excited.
The museum was a great place to start taking in everything that Delphi had to offer, including the earliest example of written music. But we weren't allowed to film in there, so let's move on.
Oh man, that blew me away. I'm proper psyched for actually seeing the ruins now.
Okay, so just been to the museum in Delphi, and afterwards I came outside and I just sat down and just sort of like, after the view has taken your breath away, you just realise that it's a place of such peace, and I actually started crying. And you know, ordinarily I'd be ashamed to admit that, but not here. Not here.
So here we go. We're finally walking into the ancient site of Delphi, and we're just greeted by loads of columns, ruins of structures. Can't wait. It looks huge, and it's all uphill.
Just on a side note, as beautiful as all of this is, if there ever was a day that I was going to be burnt, today would be that day. It's absolutely baking. Worse than Athens. A lot worse than Athens. So,
Just walking up the Temple of Apollo. This is where some people would have come for prophecies from the priest. And we've just been past all these buildings called treasuries, where the various city-states of Greece would have left and gifted impressive statues and things, trying to win favour with the oracle. And it's still impressive. It's huge.
As we reached Delphi's centrepiece, I had to stop and check my brochure.
Dave, say something funny.
What? This is the temple you'd actually come to speak to someone who'd then, the question asker, who'd then go off and ask he'd pop down there and would ask the question, and the oracle would get wasted and babble for a bit.
I prophesize. Number 6, Valverde, in the 140 at Epsom.
Oh, insect bites.
Slightly further up the mountain is this stunning theatre, which not only overlooks the Temple of Apollo, but also the entire valley. Imagine watching a play there.
Bloody wasp.
It is nothing short of stunning.
As we were walking along, we noticed a trail of ants. We wondered where it went, so we followed it, only to find they were eating a butterfly. Ugh. But to the ancients, sights like this would have simply been another reminder that death is around every corner. Or perhaps even an omen.
You see, just occasionally you'll be walking along and you'll just see like a little glimpse between the trees. And it will just yield the most amazing view.
Yeah, at the stadium, it's hot, and we've just climbed up Mount Parnassus, and why would anybody want to come all the way up here then to sprint 100 metres? It just doesn't...
And do all these athletics. This is because they used to have their own sort of mini Olympics at Delphi, and this is the stadium. It's right at the top of the site, so it's so high up. You'd be knackered by the time we got here, let alone the thin air. But yeah, now we're going to head back down and get some lunch. But we've seen some amazing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you can't imagine.
You can't knock it. Yeah, but. Yeah.
It's hard work, but it is worth it.
It is, yeah. It's a great view when you get to the top.
You're halfway up. We're halfway up a mountain, right?
Yeah.
Walking's the easy way to the bottom. Climbing's the hard way to the top.
And responsibility.
But when you get there,
it's a great view.
It's a great view.
Andio.
Adio.
So now we're done with Delphi, and we're just getting ready to go get the bus to Patra. But before we go, we just thought we'd come and take in the view one last time. Really quite hard to leave this behind, but yeah, I'm ready to move on. We both really enjoyed our time in Delphi, and we were leaving with a bit of a sad face. So we packed our bags, and after a bit of a flash flood came and went, the bus arrived and we began our journey onwards to our next Well, we were on the bus to Patra, and then it turns out we have to change bus, so we had to stop off at this place called Attica, and we got half an hour to wait for the next bus. But I'm not too bothered, because look, isn't that lovely? So then we got on the other bus and we went to Patra. Yeah, see you next week. Bye. Butnu Production.